nut trees. Mauna Loa Macadamia Nut Company, all underneath and left, and there are more on the right side too, a little further out, way out there. That's all macadamia nuts.
I hope we don't land because my dad is allergic to tree nuts.
Oh man, this might be a bad place to land.
Shane, are these clouds generated just because of the height of the ground, or is it come in from the east?
The clouds?
Yes.
It's because, well, if you look to the east in the distance, there's really a lot less clouds out there. There's way more clouds right up against the island, and it's because the wind is blowing east to west. So the air is coming from the ocean. All the air is, of course, humid. When it runs into the island here, it gets pushed up the hills, and as it climbs, it cools and descends, and the clouds form and rain falls. So yeah, that's why it is the rainiest city in the whole United States.
It's interesting because being in the continental United States, we have it coming from west to east generally. But here, you have it coming from the east to the west.
That's exactly right. And the shift is predominantly because we're further south. There are kind of general flow patterns at different latitudes on the globe. And at this latitude, it's east to west. It's real consistent, too. Not always blowing east to west, but probably at least 90% of the time. Maybe 95.
How much altitude are we up on?
2,500 feet above sea level right now. Oh, and there's a school coming up ahead and to the right. They're reddish, kind of reddish-orange roof buildings. That's all the University of Hawaii Hilo campus.
How long have you been living in Hawaii?
I've been here about 5 years now. Oh, you want to hear something crazy, though? When I moved here, I had never even been to Hawaii. I haven't even come for a visit, and I decided to move out here. But I'm glad I did. I remember my dad telling me, you're going to get island fever. You're not going to like it. You're going to get there and hate it and come back. I knew I wouldn't. I was right. But he's got a point, people do. That happens more than you'd think. I'd say at least half the people who come out here don't stay very long.
Do you know any like Hawaiian legends or anything?
Could you say it one more time? I'm sorry. I missed your question. They're talking on the radio, and I had to let the button go so you didn't hear it, but...
I asked you if you knew any like Hawaiian legends.
Oh, Hawaiian legends. Well, let me try and think if I know any real good ones for you. There's a ton of them, and to be honest, I know way less of them than I should. I do know, of course, the Hawaiian people believe that the volcano we were just flying over, Kilauea volcano, it's home to a goddess named Pele. Goddess Pele lives inside Kilauea. That's her house.
I know that already.
Yeah. A lot of people were talking about building another geothermal plant over on Kilauea, and all the locals were protesting because they said, well, we need geothermal, first of all. But they were protesting, they would say, we don't want you to build geothermal over here because you're going to be drilling holes in Pele's house. She's going to get mad at us. But they believe it.
One time I heard that they can transform either into a beautiful woman or an old lady, and you better help her because if you do, she'll do something good like once this guy saw an old lady walking on the side of the street. He picked her up, told her, "Tell me where you need to go, I'll take you where you need to go." And he did, and one day he lived on a volcano and the volcano erupted. All the lava spewed towards his house. It made a complete circle around his house.
That's a pretty good story.
And he was like, "Oh my gosh, it was Pele, it was Pele."
Yeah. As we leave Hilo, we're now headed northwest along the Hamakua coast. Highway 19 is right here. This is my favorite drive on the island.
What's your favorite legend that you've heard so far?
You know, I've heard a number of the legends here of in Hawaii. Maybe my favorite one, and I don't really remember it very well, but I remember thinking that I liked it quite a bit. It was a story over on Kilauea, the ohia tree. It's usually the very first tree that comes back after lava comes down is the ohia tree. They tend to pop up pretty quick. It has something to do with flowers on the ohia tree, and you're not supposed to pick the flowers because it makes Pele cry and then it rains. Remember that one standing out.
Waterfall down on the left.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good one too. You know, keep an eye out for waterfalls all through here because, well, it gets a ton of rain. Rainier than Hilo itself is the left part of our island up here. We get about 350 inches of rain per year up here in the middle of the northeast side of Mauna Kea. So waterfalls are everywhere. And my favorite waterfall on the island you can drive to is coming up. It's called Akaka Falls. I'll tell you a story about Akaka Falls. Ooh, 1 second, I got another radio call. Sorry, I had a radio call coming in. Okay, so Akaka Falls. There's two waterfalls on the left. Lower Akaka Falls is coming up first. It'll be right underneath us. And Akaka Falls, the actual waterfall called Akaka Falls is the one up on the back on the left. Now these, again, really nice waterfalls. The top one is the best one you can drive to on the island, but it's not anywhere close to the best one we can fly to. Of course, that's where we're going. We'll go see in a little while. But Akaka Falls, I heard a story from a local lady. She was on one of my flights. She was talking about this waterfall. She said, "Do you know how Akaka Falls got its name?" And I said, "No, I have no idea. Never even heard." She said, "Well, it's because a long time ago, there was a man named Akaka. He lived here in this part of the island. He was married and he had his family and he was happy. But he found out his wife was in love with somebody else. And he was real sad about it. And well, I guess most people would be. And anyway, he was super sad, so sad that he went over to that waterfall. He jumped off, right into the pool below, and nobody ever saw him again. So from then on, it was always been called Akaka Falls."
For you and I, for you and I, for you and
I see like a river waterfalls up ahead on the, well, it's actually past us on
look.
the left.
There's a bunch of them over there. A whole bunch of waterfalls. I bet you there's 1,000 waterfalls on this side of the island. You know what we should do? Let's go down to the shoreline and look too, because sometimes the waterfalls are pouring right into the ocean. See if we can find some.
I think I see a crane on my window.
You see a what? A crane?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. The big, oh, there's two of them over there.
There is?
Yeah, the orange one and a black one closer. Right next to it.
I think I see the orange one, but I don't think I see the black one.
Yeah. They're
Wait,
building
no.
a bridge.
I think I see the black one. Wait, I thought that building was already building, but then once I saw them, I don't know what I thought. I see a waterfall and a tide pool. Look to your left.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
I see it, I think. Yeah, I see it. The tide pool just left.
Let's see how many waterfalls we can find on the shoreline down here.
I see 3 so far. I think I see another. I think I see another. I think I see another.